So this has been a crazy month where we have gone way off schedule to do a couple of things that had deadlines, and then jumped back onto schedule just like I guess a few weeks into the month. The schedule was the profile or portfolio for Lightbox, which is coming up that he's going to, and we had to make 2.5 months of work cram into a week or so to try and get a page done for this thing that we wanted to have in our story, in the portfolio. And then we made all these pages for it that are both his artwork and some of our Household of Heroes stuff. And most of our regular work got put on hold, but now we're bringing it back.
And that's, well, I won't explain anything that's going on here. It's all complicated. And this is our portfolio, which if you've downloaded the last expansion package, then you'll have seen this. And basically it just goes over our story a little bit, describing what it's going to look like, what we do, what these characters are, and then it shows my artwork.
In the meantime, I have to make these things I call bubble wraps, which are separating the scenes into these little bubbles. So if two characters are in two different places and then they meet up again, they have to have those separate scenes, even though they're kind of one scene of the two pairs of characters talking, and then they meet up afterwards, and you kind of have to make it a separate scene. So all these things might even have the same setting, or they might be at different locations, or a conversation that moves as the characters are walking from the patio to the garden to the kitchen, whatever it is. And as they go to each of these places, there are different characters they're interacting with at these other locations that are also moving around. So all this stuff has to be kept track of. Sometimes it gets really messy, and sometimes it's really simple, so it's different every single chapter I have to lay out. That's what the bubble maps look like originally, is just a bunch of lines everywhere with names and things. And then eventually I draft them out into a bit more detail. And I'm going to redo these again too, but this was the initial version. And you can see how different they all are.
Whatever styles choose move and write.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a matter of choosing. We're going to let the random number generator do it, and then we'll just do as much as we can for Moo, and just the characters in grand story and stories about basic stuff, and specifically the forest of that it's kind of all things, and it can communicate with all things in it, and it's just how many the whole Avatar putting his hand on the ground thing, and the lines go everywhere, in there it's described the swamp tree from Avatar, but everything's like that, and even the pretty sure it's World 4.
So World 4.
5.
Oh, 5.
5
1,
is
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 2. But it's 20?
Yeah, okay, so
2, 3, 4.
math is hard. No.
Wouldn't it be... I guess it'd be the first one, or...
It's kind of nice that it stops once in a while, just randomly.
Yeah, almost.
It's kind of interesting character. If they didn't, you'd just be like, yeah, it's good.
How long do we go for? Yeah, nice to. Even the audio recorder, it cuts things in 2-hour increments when you fall asleep, and it goes on. So it starts new recordings after every 2 hours.
Great discovery. Well, you could make that discovery.
The process Guardian thing. So one of the 20 Guardians is a starting point. The examples I used Tliga Tar, I'm going to use another one too, but Tliga. So Tliga is the one of the 20, or one of the 120, and then they're placed in the plot setting in world, which is the crazy, abstract, epic, the spectacle-esque context. The plot is Tliga is a former student of Dia, part of a crew on a spaceship, and saves the fleet with a magic blast.